Shalom family, this is brother Jakim. The name of this video is called Surviving White Man Jesus. Alright, for centuries we've been given a white image, but does the Bible describe him like that? We're going to find out. Alright, because too many lies have been told and a lot of people have died for believing a lie.
Here's the reality. The image of a white Jesus has been used to justify enslavement. Here's the reality. The image of a white Jesus has been used to justify enslavement, conquest, colonialism, the genocide of indigenous peoples. There are literally millions of human beings whose lives have been snuffed out by people who conquered under the banner of a white God. That is a far more significant problem than whether a black writer in 2013 suggests somewhat humorously, but perhaps seriously, that we should change Santa to a penguin. No one's going to die because of that iconography. The white Jesus, white God imagery has literally resulted in death. That's something folks ought to deal with. But
it says 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, alright? And we're going to start at verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is this Bible, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the work of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Because when you really check it out,
piece of shit
a
burn.
lot of us believe in Benny Hinn, a lot of us believe in TBN. We've seen a lot of these fake miracles on the TV. Brother Popoff say you must buy water, put this over your door, drink this, you know what I mean? And these certain things have been taking the money of our grandmothers, of our auntie them for years, because there's no other hope. They don't see nothing else above what we now know as the church, white supremacy, Christianity, which was given birth in the Roman Empire and the Catholic Church. Alright, so we don't have no other example, but the Most High say in the last days, He's gonna put the spirit back in the earth, and we're gonna find out what the truth is, and we're gonna start keeping the laws. Alright? Let's find out what the truth is. Go to Psalms 119. Alright? Psalms 119 and 142. Let's see what the truth is. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Alright? Let me jump down to verse 151. Thou art near, O Lord, and all thy commandments are truth. Okay? So you got to understand, the only law that was done away with was the law of sacrifice. Alright? We don't kill no goats. We don't burn no big sacrifice for the nation of Israel. Okay? The Most High know that we would go into captivity, and know that we would not be able to keep the sacrificial part of the laws, okay, how He had it set up. But the main important thing, He sent His Son Christ, so He would just do away with that altogether. Okay? So now we no longer need to animal sacrifice, because the Most High sent His Son, and the Most High Son was the ultimate sacrifice. Watch this. After this. So what you gotta understand is, the Black Latinos and the Native Americans, we fit the curses in Deuteronomy 28. And throughout all the nations, they know who we are, we don't know who we are. Okay? And one of the first people that was taken down when Columbus touched the shores of the Caribbean and those other explorers, when they touched the land of North America, one of the first images that they brought was the image of the beast. Okay?
No useful description of the physical appearance of Jesus is given in the New Testament, and the depiction of Jesus in pictorial form was controversial in the early church. 1. 2. The depiction of him in art took several centuries to reach a conventional standardized form for his physical appearance, which has subsequently remained largely stable since that time.
Go to Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 27. Because if you have the image in your house, it's time to get it out. Alright? That image got to go. It got to go. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 25. The graven images of their gods shall he burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be a snare therein, for it is an abomination to the Lord. Alright? Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thy house, lest thou be cursed. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house, lest thou be a cursed thing like it. But thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. So this is what we got to show you right now. Okay? You really got to understand the Most High already have his saints described, and the Most High have his Son described. Let's go to let's go to Revelation. Revelation chapter 1, start at verse 14. His head, actually, you know what? Let's start at verse 12. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me. And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. He no see no cross. That's another thing we have to address in another video. The saints, the Israelites, we never wrap no cross for no garment. Alright? Alright? In our temples you have the shofar, the 7 golden candlesticks, okay, and many other things. But you know what we don't have? We don't have no cross. So watch this. It says in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 12, and I turned to see the voice that spake with me. And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. Alright? And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like the Son of Man. Clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. So the garment that he had on, had a girdle, and the girdle was around his stomach, alright? And it was a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were like a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. All right? So this is a description, a clear description of how Christ looked. When you go to Daniel now, let's go to Daniel. Daniel chapter 10. All right, come on now, play with them. We're not play with them no more. Daniel chapter 10 and verse 5. Watch this. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. All right? Let me read it again. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with a fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like the barley. The beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. So he had a strong voice. He was not no soft man. You understand? So why we say surviving white man Jesus? Why do we say that? When you actually jump to Deuteronomy chapter 28. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood and stone. Now, wood and stone is going into the two biggest religions on the planet. All right, you got Christianity and you got Muslim. Okay. Okay. A lot of people didn't know. A lot of people don't know that before you have the transatlantic slave trade, you had the sub-Saharan slave trade. Them boys were doing us wicked. Yo, the Most High say he will make sure that he avenge us. Please pray and apply Luke 18. All right? The Most High is not playing, and it's just for us to keep repenting daily. You can't pay your bills. You can't get through because guess what? We're under the curse. So we got to break it. Okay? Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. I'm going to read it again. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So this is where we are, surviving white man Jesus. When Columbus, all right, and other colonializers came, they made sure that they brought an image because they knew, guess what? These people here, they're very religious, all right? And we're going to show them, guess what? There is a God and it looks like us. So because you don't know who is who, you just go with anything. All right? But now we're finding out that's the downfall of the 12 tribes. You understand? Go to Amos. Amos chapter 3 and verse, I'm going to start at verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O Israel, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. The Most High been punishing us because guess what? We left from out of his laws, alright, and was more happy to do the other nations' laws. Alright? Other people that can get sick, use the bathroom like me and you. We rather do their customs over the Most High customs. And you know what the Most High trying to give us? Immortality. Say I'm crazy, but guess what? The salvation in this Bible has always been about getting salvation from the other nations. Alright? Under the modern day Christianity, salvation has been getting delivered from the devil, ghosts, Scooby-Doo. Alright? So guess what? They've been teaching us lies. Lies, brethren. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. First Maccabees chapter 3. Because what you have to understand, right, and a lot of people forget, ever since we were run out of Jerusalem, alright, the Romans, the Greeks, the Persians, alright, the Hamites, they have been trying to burn this Bible. They've been trying to burn it, but they just can't get rid of it. It just keep popping up, alright? So surviving white man Jesus bring us to a point where we now have to ask questions, alright? We have to ask questions because we realize now we've been lied to. And if you're spiritual, you must know, guess what? The Bible have the records. The Bible got the records. So you're cool, you're good. The Most High is not going to leave us. Alright? He's not going to give us more than what we can handle. But watch this. Go to Maccabees, First Maccabees chapter 3. First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48. And they laid open, who's the they? The heathen. Alright? The nations that are stronger than us, the ones that are in power. They don't need to be saved. Alright? They don't need to be given riches and diamonds. They control the world's wealth. First Maccabees chapter 2, First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to pay the likeness of their images. So if their images was not in there in the beginning, whose images was in there from the start? It was our images. The Most High. If you know how to read, back in slavery time, they would really torture you. If you know how to read the Bible, they would kill you. You understand? So this is something we've been surviving. We've been surviving. And the children of Israel are you black Latinos and Native Americans. Alright? How do you know that? When you read Deuteronomy chapter 28. Deuteronomy chapter 28 lay out all the curses. Okay? Deuteronomy chapter 28. What people keep overlooking, this is the same program. A lot of you Christians say, yo, guess what? My God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Do you really believe that? All right, let's go. Deuteronomy chapter 28, because Deuteronomy chapter 28 from verse 1 to 14 is going to be heaven and earth. And these things that are outlined are written in the Bible, God's words. And God's words, one thing about God's words, He don't take them back. All right, them come full force. Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and I'm gonna start at verse 15. He's talking to the Israelites through Moses. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, mean listen to the Most High God, to observe to do all His commandments and His statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. When they talk about the city and the ghettos, the inner city, who runs your mind? It's not the black and Puerto Rican them always in the city of New York, Bronx and Harlem. That's one of the most famous places on the planet. When you think about Jamaica and Kingston, when you think about Antigua, when you think about Rio de Janeiro, when you touch the city and you want to go to the ghetto, who occupy the lowest of the lowest places, man? The Bible make reference to who we are based upon the things that we're going through. So give thanks and praise to the Most High that we can identify ourselves. We don't even need no what do you call it? No DNA.com or whatever you call the place. The stranger, this is verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Now, verse 46 is going into the curses are going to be on us for a sign. Let's read that. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. For the Most High gave us the world. And you know what? We said we want to do what the other nations are doing. So now we chastise us. Alright? Send us strong delusions. Now you believe a lie. That's not why we survive white man Jesus. Because it's a lie. And some of us realize it's important to know the truth because the truth matters. Okay? Let me show you exactly why it's important. A lot of people say, yo, it no matter. It no matter, right? This time, me come to you raw, man. Me come to you like me talk to my Benjamin brothers. Because people think this is a game. Yo, it's pretty hard. It's hard out here, but man and brethren and woman need to come a little bit harder. They need to try a little bit harder. You know what I mean? Men and brethren and woman and man, same thing. We need to try a little bit harder. So this is why it matters. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit, whether they be of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God. So first thing, the first person that say, yo, we don't know what Christ look like. It don't matter. They have the spirit of Antichrist. Because I know I would never say something like that. That never even crossed my mind. You have the spirit of Antichrist. Fix yourself. 1 John chapter 4 and verse 3. And every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh. You was one of them that talk about he see through. You was one of them that say he has many colors. You was one of them that say Christ can be any nationality. Alright? Because y'all don't want to hurt the feelings of people that is not associated with the Son. Verse 3. And every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even know already it is in the world. Alright? So the Most High is telling you, guess what? That false image, the false Christ, the false teachings is already in the world and in a matchup. Alright? So everything have a matchup. The 12 tribes consist of Judah, which is your American blacks. Alright? Benjamin, your West Indian blacks. Levi, your Haitians. Ephraim, the tribe of Ephraim, which is so-called Puerto Ricans. Manasseh, so-called Cubans. Seminoles. Simeon, the so-called Dominicans. Zebulon, those people that live from Guatemala to Panama. A lot of these people that are coming up from the border is not even Mexicans. They're people from Guatemala, you know what I mean? Bolivia, okay? The more southern regions. Because the guys that make Mexico, they actually come and go as, you know what I mean, as workers. And the border's right there. They don't need to come with a large group. If there's going to be Mexicans coming, they're going to come small and stealthy. Okay? Gad is the Native American Indians. Alright? At the end of the day, Esau couldn't even defeat them by himself. He had to go for the Buffalo Soldiers, the so-called West Indians. Because they read the history. They read the history that we went up against each other. Alright? So they were able to convince us that guess what, if you come to America and fight us, come to America and help us fight the so-called Native Americans, that you will get your freedom. Reuben is the Seminole Indians. Asher is the Colombians to Uruguay. Those are the original Incas. Okay? Issachar is the original, is a Mexican, so-called Mexican. So Issachar is in the Bible. Many of you have been so foolishly to think that Mexicans was not in the Bible, eh? Those are the original Aztecs. And Neptali. Neptali is those people in Argentina to Chile. Okay, so everybody's accounted for. Alright? So, this is what we got to show you. We Israelites, we got to come back to the Most High laws and know who we are in this world and teach our fathers, teach our mothers, our sons and daughters who we really are. So guess what? Share this video. Alright? Do your research. Okay? And the Most High is going to show you exactly who you are. Because you've been having questions and you just can't put a finger upon it. Shalom. All praises to the Most High. Bless all 12 tribes and let us be found faithful in His coming.